Linda's hands trembled slightly as she brushed her fingers over the worn edges of an old high school photo, the faint scent of aged paper wafting through the air. In that moment, her heart raced with memories, each one dredging up bittersweet emotions that had lain dormant for years. She could almost hear Maria's laughter echoing through the hallways, the way they would share secrets in hushed tones, the thrill of teenage rebellion binding them together. Linda closed her eyes, letting the flood of nostalgia wash over her, feeling almost as if she could reach out and touch the vibrant moments they had shared. The thought of her best friend, lost to time, ignited a spark within her that she hadn't felt in decades, a longing to reconnect, to bridge the chasm that had formed between them. Before we dive into this heartfelt journey of friendship rediscovered, I invite you to take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support is essential in helping us bring more beautiful stories like this one to life. By subscribing, you're not just joining our community, you're ensuring that these tales of love, resilience, and connection reach more people who need to hear them. So please, hit that subscribe button now, and let's embark on this emotional adventure together. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm, golden hue in her cozy living room, Linda felt a surge of determination. With a deep breath, she opened her laptop and began typing Maria's name into a social media search bar. The years melted away, and with each keystroke, she could almost envision the shy, bright-eyed girl who had once been her confidant. Would Maria remember her? Would she be angry or worse and different? Uncertainty knotted in her stomach, but she pressed on, fueled by an overwhelming hope that perhaps time had been kinder than she expected. After a few anxious moments, she found Maria's profile. Her heart raced as she hovered over the message button, her mind racing with 1,000 things to say. It had been 35 years since they last spoke, a lifetime filled with milestones and memories, some shared and many left unspoken. The absence of those years weighed heavily on her, yet a glimmer of excitement flickered within her. Linda took another deep breath, her fingers poised over the keyboard, and typed a simple yet heartfelt message. "Hi, Maria. It's Linda. I hope you remember me." With a pulse of uncertainty, she hit send and sat back, her heart pounding. The wait felt interminable, each passing second stretching into eternity. She fidgeted with the edge of the photo, the faded smiles of their youth staring back at her. What if Maria had moved on? What if she didn't want to hear from her? But just as doubt began to creep in, a notification pinged on her screen. It was a response, immediate and enthusiastic. "Linda, of course. I remember you. Wow, it's been so long. How are you?" Tears pricked at the corners of Linda's eyes as a wave of relief washed over her. The warmth of Maria's words sparked joy within her, and just like that, the chasm of years began to close. They exchanged messages back and forth, each word a thread weaving them back together. Linda learned about Maria's life, her family, her career, and the joys and sorrows she had faced. Maria was still the same caring friend, her spirit vibrant and resilient, despite the years that had passed. As night fell and the stars twinkled in the sky, Linda decided to take the plunge. "Can we talk on the phone?" She typed, her heart racing at the thought. She hesitated, then pressed send. The response was immediate. "I'd love that. Let's set a time." The anticipation built as they arranged a call for the following evening. Linda spent the rest of the day in a whirlwind of emotions, her mind racing with thoughts of their shared past and all the experiences they had missed. As she prepared for the call, she pulled out another photo, a snapshot of them from that fateful day when everything had changed. They were young, carefree, and oblivious to the fact that life would soon sweep them apart, leaving only echoes of laughter in the halls of their high school. When the phone rang the next evening, Linda's heart raced. She took a moment to collect herself before answering, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Hello," she said, her voice slightly trembling. "Linda." Maria's voice came through, bright and full of warmth. "I can't believe it's you. How are you?" The conversation flowed easily, as if no time had passed at all. They laughed and reminisced about their teenage antics, the silly things that seemed monumental at the time. Linda recalled the time they got caught sneaking out to go to a concert, their hearts racing with both fear and exhilaration. Maria's laughter rang like music through the phone, and Linda felt the familiar bond rekindle, as if they were two teenagers once again, sharing secrets and dreams. As the hours slipped away, they spoke of their journeys, Linda's career as a teacher, imparting knowledge to the next generation, and Maria's work as a nurse, nurturing others through their toughest moments. They shared stories of heartbreak and triumph, family milestones, and the bittersweet nature of growing up. Each revelation deepened their connection, reminding them both of the love and understanding that had always existed between them. Yet, amid the laughter and shared memories, there were pauses, moments heavy with unspoken words. Linda felt the weight of the years apart, the lost moments that could never be reclaimed. She could hear the echoes of what-ifs and should-haves lingering in the silence. It was a bittersweet reminder that while they could reconnect, the years had shaped their lives in ways they couldn't ignore. As the call drew to a close, Linda felt a renewed sense of purpose. They made a pact to stay in touch, to not let life's circumstances pull them apart again. "Let's plan a reunion," Maria suggested, her voice filled with enthusiasm. "I want to see you again, to make new memories together." The prospect of a reunion filled Linda with joy and anticipation. She hung up the phone with a smile that stretched from ear to ear, her heart swelling with gratitude for the rekindled friendship. In that moment, she realized that no matter how much time had passed, the bond they shared was unbreakable, rooted in love and understanding. And so began a new chapter in their lives, a journey of rediscovery, filled with laughter, tears, and the promise of a friendship that would withstand the test of time. It was a testament to the beauty of lifelong bonds, the effects of time, and the joy of reconnecting with a part of her past that had always held a special place in her heart. Linda immersed herself in the warmth of their conversation, the echoes of laughter and shared memories reverberating in her mind long after the call ended. She couldn't shake the feeling of elation that bubbled within her, a sensation she hadn't felt in years. The thought of planning a reunion with Maria ignited a spark of excitement that lit up her otherwise routine life. She spent the evening reflecting on the moments they had shared, the laughter that had defined their youth, and the unimaginable twists that life had thrown their way. Days turned into weeks, and Linda found herself in a state of blissful anticipation. Each morning, she would check her phone, hoping to see a message from Maria. They exchanged stories and updates regularly, sharing photos of their families and snippets of their daily lives. The more they talked, the clearer it became that the essence of their friendship had not faded. It had merely been dormant, waiting for the right moment to reignite. One afternoon, as Linda prepared dinner, her phone chimed with a message. It was from Maria, filled with enthusiasm. "I've been thinking about our reunion. How about we meet halfway? I found this lovely little town that has a cute cafe and beautiful parks. What do you think?" Linda's heart raced at the thought of finally seeing her friend again. The idea of walking side by side, reminiscing and creating new memories, filled her with joy. "That sounds perfect," she replied, her fingers flying over the keyboard. They set a date, and with each passing day, the anticipation grew. As the day of the reunion approached, Linda found herself plagued by a mix of excitement and anxiety. She wanted everything to be perfect. She envisioned them laughing over coffee, sharing stories until the sun dipped below the horizon. Yet, she couldn't shake the fear that perhaps they had both changed too much to reconnect fully. What if the years had altered them in ways that would make their bond feel strained or distant? On the morning of their reunion, Linda stood in front of her mirror, meticulously choosing her outfit, as if the right clothes could bridge the gap of time. She settled on a simple yet elegant dress, one that made her feel youthful and vibrant. As she applied a touch of makeup, she couldn't help but smile, imagining Maria's face when they finally met. It felt surreal, as if she were preparing for a dream. The drive to the quaint little town was filled with a sense of purpose. The landscape blurred outside her window, but her mind was flooded with images of their shared past. Memories played like a film reel. Their first dance at the school prom, the the whispered secrets in the library, and the tears shared during heartaches. Each memory brought with it a wave of nostalgia, mixed with a fervent hope that their friendship would pick up right where it had left off. When Linda arrived, the town was bathed in the golden light of the afternoon sun, casting an inviting glow over the charming streets. She parked her car and took a deep breath, her heart racing with anticipation. As she walked towards the cafe, she spotted the park they had chosen as a meeting point. Children laughed in the distance, and the scent of blooming flowers filled the air, creating an atmosphere of joy that mirrored her own. As she approached the cafe, her heart soared when she spotted Maria sitting at a table outside, the sunlight illuminating her features. Maria looked radiant, her laughter infectious as she chatted with a couple of young children at a nearby table. Linda took a moment to drink in the sight of her friend, the years melting away as she felt the familiar warmth of their connection. "Maria," she called out, her voice bubbling with excitement. Maria turned, her eyes lighting up as they met. The moment was electric, and time seemed to stand still. "Linda," she exclaimed, leaping to her feet and rushing toward her. They embraced tightly, a whirlwind of emotions crashing over them. Linda felt the comfort of familiarity in Maria's presence, a reassurance that this friendship was indeed meant to be rekindled. They settled into their seats, and the conversation flowed effortlessly. They exchanged stories about their families, their careers, and the trials of life that had shaped them into who they were today. "I can't believe it's been 35 years, Maria said, shaking her head in disbelief. "It feels like just yesterday we were planning our futures in that little high school classroom." "I remember dreaming about traveling the world," Linda replied, a smile playing on her lips. "I always thought I'd be an explorer. Life had other plans, though." They laughed, sharing anecdotes about the paths they had taken, the detours, the unexpected turns, and the lessons learned along the way. As they reminisced about their teenage dreams, they realized how much those aspirations had influenced their lives. The laughter and stories flowed freely like a river, each moment carving a deeper groove into their rekindled friendship. But as the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting a warm orange hue over their table, the conversation took a more serious turn. Maria's expression softened as she spoke about the challenges she had faced in her life, her struggles as a single mother, the heartaches that had left scars on her heart. Linda listened intently, her own heart aching for her friend. "I sometimes feel like I've lost a part of myself along the way," Maria confessed, her voice tinged with vulnerability. "It's hard to balance everything, to keep going when life throws so many obstacles in your path." Linda reached across the table, placing her hand over Maria's. "You're stronger than you realize. I've admired your resilience from afar. You've faced so much, yet you still have that beautiful spirit." Tears glistened in Maria's eyes, and Linda knew that the bond they shared was more profound than ever. They were no longer just two girls who had once been best friends. They had become women who had navigated the complexities of life, each carrying her own burdens, yet finding solace in one another's presence. "Thank you for saying that," Maria whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "I've missed you, Linda. I didn't realize how much I needed to reconnect until now." In that moment, Linda felt a surge of warmth, an affirmation that they were meant to find each other again. "We're here now," she said, her voice steadier. "Let's make a promise. No matter how busy life gets, we'll always find our way back to one another." Maria nodded, wiping a tear from her cheek. "Absolutely. No more lost time. From now on, let's be in each other's lives, no matter what." If this story is touching your heart, make sure to comment from where you are hearing this amazing story. As the sun set, painting the sky in brilliant hues of pink and purple, they shared their hopes for the future. They talked about plans for their families, dreams they still wanted to chase, and the adventures that awaited them. The evening air was alive with the promise of new beginnings, and as they clinked their coffee cups together in a toast, they knew they were stepping into a beautiful chapter of their lives, one that would be filled with laughter, support, and the unwavering bond of friendship. And so, with the weight of the past slowly lifting from their shoulders, they embraced the warmth of the moment. determined to not let another 35 years slip through their fingers. As the night deepened, they found themselves planning their next meeting, already brimming with ideas for new memories to create together. The journey of rediscovery had begun, and neither of them would take it for granted again. As they lingered over their coffee, the conversation shifted to the small joys that filled their lives. Linda spoke about her students, the moments of inspiration she found in teaching, and the creative projects that brought her joy. Maria shared tales of her patience, the small victories that made her job fulfilling, and how each smile she witnessed reminded her of the beauty of human connection. "I often think about how lucky we are to have found our way back to each other," Maria said, her gaze thoughtful. "It's like the universe conspired to bring us back together at just the right moment." Linda smiled, feeling the truth in Maria's words. Life has a funny way of testing us and teaching us the importance of the people we love. "I wish I hadn't let fear dictate my choices back then." Maria nodded, a glimmer of understanding in her eyes. "We were just kids, trying to navigate a world that felt so big and daunting. But we've grown, haven't we? Look at us now, sitting here, rekindling a friendship that never truly faded." The warmth of their reunion enveloped them like a soft blanket, and the weight of regret began to lift. They spoke into the night, sharing dreams they had shelved, fears they had faced, and the lessons learned along the way. Stories of love lost and found, of children raised and families built, wove a rich tapestry of their lives that felt both familiar and new. As darkness settled around them, the cafe glowed with soft lights, casting a warm ambience over their table. Linda glanced at her watch and felt a pang of disappointment. The hours had flown by, and she wished for more time to explore the depths of their friendship. "Let's take a walk," she suggested, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "I want to soak in every moment we have together tonight." Maria grinned and nodded, eager to continue their journey. They stepped outside, the cool evening air refreshing against their skin. The park lay just a stone's throw away, and they wandered through the pathways, illuminated by the soft glow of street lamps. The laughter of children playing nearby echoed in the background, creating a soundtrack filled with joy and nostalgia. As they walked, they stumbled upon a small swing set, and without a word, they headed over. The sight of it transported them back to their carefree youth. Those endless summer days spent swinging under the sun, dreaming of the future. "Do you remember how we used to compete to see who could swing the highest?" Maria laughed, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Linda chuckled, the memories flooding back. "Of course! I was convinced that if I swung high enough, I could touch the sky. Let's see if we still have it." Maria challenged, her spirit ignited. They both hopped onto the swings, laughter bubbling up as they pushed off the ground, rising higher and higher. For those few moments, they were no longer the women burdened by life's responsibilities. They were simply two friends, lost in the joy of the moment. "Higher! Higher!" Maria shouted, her laughter echoing through the night. Linda pushed herself harder, feeling the wind rush past her, the exhilaration of youth washing over her. In that moment, the years slipped away, and the bond they had always shared reignited with every swing. Eventually, they slowed and came to a stop, breathless and smiling. "That was incredible," Linda said, her heart light. "I can't remember the last time I felt so free." Maria's face glowed with happiness. This is what life is about, finding those moments of joy, no matter how small. As they strolled back to the cafe, Linda felt a sense of peace settling in her heart. The reunion had transformed her view of the future, reminding her that it was never too late to reconnect, to embrace the bonds of friendship that time had tried to sever. They took a seat outside the cafe again, the air filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. "Let's promise to do this regularly," Linda said, her tone earnest. "I don't want to lose you again." Maria reached across the table, her hand covering Linda's. "We will. Life may get busy, but we'll carve out time for each other. We owe that to ourselves." They made plans for future visits, each idea fueling their excitement. The prospect of growing their friendship, of weaving new memories into their lives, filled them with hope. They exchanged suggestions of places to explore, adventures they could take, and moments they could cherish together. As the evening drew to a close, Linda felt a sense of fulfillment she hadn't experienced in years. They stood outside the cafe, the night sky twinkling with stars. "Thank you for today," Linda said, her voice soft but filled with sincerity. "No, thank you," Maria replied, her eyes shimmering with emotion. "You've brought back a part of me I thought I had lost." They embraced one last time, holding on tightly as if afraid to let go. In that moment, Linda knew that no matter the distance or the years that lay ahead, their friendship would endure, a steadfast anchor in the storms of life. As they parted ways, Linda walked to her car, her heart brimming with gratitude. The reunion had not only rekindled a friendship, it had reminded her of the importance of connection, of cherishing the people who shaped her life. The laughter, the stories, the shared dreams, they were all threads that wove the tapestry of their lives together. And now, they were starting anew. Driving home, Linda felt a profound sense of contentment. She glanced at the night sky, a canvas of stars shining brightly. Each twinkle seemed to echo the promise of more moments to come, a future filled with friendship, laughter, and the joy of rediscovery. And as she pulled into her driveway, she knew that this was just the beginning of a beautiful journey together, one that would span the years, filled with love and connection, never to be lost again.